there is a major report saying that Shetima is about to dump the APC party for NDC, and we know that NDC is the current party currently making waves. And from the look of things, it's as if Shetima is happy to join Peter Obi in NDC, but we don't know whether it's as vice or as a party, ESCO. What's your take as against Shetima? Do you think this will come out good for Peter Obi?
You can see how badly Nigeria has become now, because democracy has been totally demolished by the kind of politics they are playing at this moment. Nigeria has been thoroughly been exposed to the global world. And the Muslim ticket now, which a lot of people are seeing that is behind the issue of Sharia, Caliphate, and the position of the American government on the Muslim ticket too. And there was a crisis some time ago where that actually breed up between Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Shetima, and where they were saying that that if he happens to drop Shetima, he will just forget about his re-election campaign. And with the position of United States of American government currently now, they are totally against this Muslim ticket that has a kind of triggered more attacks and jihadist tendencies within the corridors of Nigeria currently now, where we are seeing that people, the international public opinion, experts from all over the world, diplomats are saying that we are experiencing more attacks, more genocide in Nigeria today because of the Christian Muslim ticket. But if you look at it very well, this is the fact, apart from the one we saw under Abiola and Tofa as at that time, they were extremely what it is as at that time. But this has actually gotten to a point that it becomes suspicious. Remember, this is exactly what we wanted to have under Buhari, and there was massive resistance and protest in that regard, until we come to a point now where we are having a Southwest Muslim president and a core extreme core northern vice president who is also an extreme Muslim, who has been factored with so many controversies surrounding his personality when he was the governor of Borno State, even though we know that he came from the financial industry, from the financial sector. But it has become very clear now that sensing that Bola Ahmed Tinubu might not likely survive what is coming to him as a result of his exposure to a lot of things surrounding his personality before the American government, and so talking about the coming litigation, legal battle that is supposed to be taking effect by, I think, by1st June this year, where the U.S. court has ordered the FBI and the DIA to now present officially his drug file case and a lot of that. And remember too, there's a lot of controversies now about the U.S. lawmaker Raleigh Moore, accusing him that he's not doing more to protect Christians, in Nigeria. And from what we are saying, it looks like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, does not longer care what Donald Trump is definitely going to do at the end of the day. But the fact still remains that he was properly advised by some experts to actually do what is very important to avoid having any altercation, with Trump. But he has a mole within the Trump government, who is Musa Bolus. Musa Bolus has been a partner with Tinubu for very long time, and he seems to have the in-law a kind of relationship within Washington. And of course, one of the son of Musa Bolus is actually married to Donald Trump's daughter, and it's been believed that that very man, who is the one who is trying to make sure that all the lobbying agenda by the federal government under Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has a thorough effect as to cushion or to finally, cover up for the atrocities that's happening in Nigeria, especially by radicalized Islamic and jihadists rampaging almost everywhere, and seeing it that at this point Nigeria must fall into Islamization. Well, on the side of Shetima, we are seeing the Shetima's position at the United Nations General Assembly, where he challenged the Israeli government based on, this is what it is, that they cannot be able to do anything, that the world will react if Palestinians are actually pushed to the wall. He went to an extent also tried to defend, Hamas attack on October 7 at the end of the day, right there in the UN General Assembly. But the fact still remains now that, a big crisis has erupted between these two personalities in Aso Rock because of the growing flame of Obi and all that, and what sensitive report that there is likely going to be Donald Trump intervention before 2027 election. And of course, with the arrow figure there, the target there is not even Shetima. The target there is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, with, like I mentioned, the court case and some other things that he has not been able to meet up with the position of the US government on Christian genocide in Nigeria. And remember, Nigeria is still under a control of a particular concern by the US government, and they have already threatened sanctions on Nigeria in that regard for having not done anything security-wise to make sure that these challenges of insecurity in Nigeria is being taken care of as a government. Unfortunately, it has failed in that angle. And now there's global glamour of the position of Christians in Nigeria, and Shetima sensing that this thing might likely collapse. Their joint ticket might likely collapse as a result of that. Decided, just as being reported, by some platforms, that it has actually dumped Bola Ahmed Tinubu's second-term ambition and might be seen to take a cover. So we are in NDC currently now under Peter Obi, just to make sure he actually escape what is going to come, that the American government seems to have laid down nuclear mines to make sure that Bola Ahmed Tinubu do not escape it at the end of the day. We are also hearing that his potential tour to France or visit to France has also been cancelled, and some African countries has also been cancelled over the dwindling image of Nigeria globally. So Shetima currently now is facing, needed to do that because to save his head, because as it stands now, nobody knows the kind of decisive action Donald Trump is going to definitely take against Nigeria with the Israeli government. So to save his head, and of course, not to portray that the Nigerian is purely under Islamic control. That's why he decided. You see, they are trying to push P2B picture narrative before the global world now, so that everybody can actually take cover under P2B, projecting Christian Muslim ticket at the end of the day, and that is what it is.
But a lot of people are saying Dati Ahmed was saying that Peter Obi might not get the needed support from the Northerners since he has decamped to NDC. Do you think that he's saying this from a tribalistic mindset, or do you think he's just saying that Peter Obi, since he has left ADC, a lot of people are saying is more looking like more of a Northern project?
Okay, if you look like what I always say, he's currently having a very deep meeting with Jonathan, as I'm talking to you now. The entire Niger Delta, the south part of the Nigeria is strongly behind him under Jonathan, and the southeast bloc are seeing National Nigeria Democratic Congress, as a party that belongs to these two powerful regions, the south and the southeast, as it stands now, coming from the position of the former president, Goodluck Jonathan. Then we are seeing APC, who predominantly a southwest. Then the ADC might possibly represent the northern position. But what Dati Ahmed, who was also the vice president under Obi as Labour candidates, as at that time, running mate as at that time, do not see what Obi saw with what actually was playing on, that ex-APC members, all these guys, the likes of Atiku, and the rest of them, they just came out from the APC. I mentioned them, they are former AP. You don't know the kind of agreement, the kind of agenda, the kind of thing. So there was this suspicion that they might be working for Bola Ahmed Tinubu in disguise. And sensing that, they refuse to do the needful by zoning the presidential slot to the south, then the south might decide, okay, to microzone at the end of the day. They never did that. So you can see, that the sensibility that comes with the court war, judicial war, surrounding that political party might jeopardize at the end of the day Obi's quest to be at the ballot 2027. So Obi sensing suspicion or the motive of some of the people that came together to form that party, especially ex-APC members that just finished 8 years with Buhari, coming back to surround Obi and start manipulating. And Obi looked at it and said, no, the best option is for me to move to NDC and position myself very well for the reality on ground. I remember that one question too is not extremely an Hausa Fulani factor. He comes from the Hausa ethnicity, from of the north, the Hausa ethnicity, and there's this quest, and the only Igbo people that can do it, to give an Hausa in the north a voice, and they can only find that voice in Kwankwaso as vice president to Obi come 2027. There's no two ways about it. Obi is the flame at the moment. As a seated ADC has completely gone underground. There's nothing that will save them anymore. Ababi always said it that this is a sign that Atiku is no longer relevant within the political space currently. Now, let me give you an instance. In 2023, Obi scored 6 million plus. Atiku scored 6 million plus, and we are seeing a traditionally experienced northern politician. Yes, we must give it to Atiku to an extent, but at this point in time, I think he refused to allow rationality to play out, for national interest, and then that has thrown the suspicion that he is also in the background to push for Emirates nation in Nigeria, and that is what it is. So that Ahmed might not see exactly what Obi saw for him to actually make that statement. I know that he is coming from a very background, but if he has been claiming in the past that he actually believes Obi, this is the time to show that support and not say that
I don't think he's angry that Peter Obi is not working with him or is not choosing him again to be his vice. Oh
yeah, no, it might be, but I'm telling you that Dati Ahmed is a good man, but this statement is making now throws another suspicion about his personality. I can tell you that, but from the onset, it is all politics. It's just telling you that yes, he couldn't give Obi that necessary northern voters support in 2023, and to an extent, Obi need a radicalized top northern politician like Kwankwaso and the rest of them. I know that Atiku cannot be vice president to Obi, because of what. But this is Kwankwaso that rejected Obi in 2023. They have seen the handwriting on the wall that Obi beat him, Kwankwaso, in popularity in 2023. Kwankwaso got less than 2 million votes. I think 1.something million. But Obi hit almost 7 million votes in that regard. So
I think he is positioning himself for 2031. He knows I've worked with Obi and they win. Obi might just do that 4 years that he's saying, and he might become the president. That's why Kwankwaso is trying to work assiduously.
Oh yes, Kwankwaso calculated very well, and that these are the major people who are coming from the two former presidents of Nigeria. He became to national limelight under Obasanjo, and of course he also was part of Jonathan's government. I'm talking about Kwankwaso. So you can see that Jonathan is ready now for national politics, and he can tell you what it is now that they are currently having an indoor meeting somewhere in Abuja and Yenegua. Nobody can tell you what is going to come at the end of the day, but that's what it is at the moment. So I want to celebrate Shetima, for escaping the harbor that was already on the board, and for decamping, abandoning APC government under Bola Ahmed Tinubu and joining Obi in ADC secretly, and that is what it is. ADC secretly, APC secretly. I'm talking about APC, so just take that note. He has left, has been reported by powerful platforms that Shetima has finally dumped for fear of Trump. He has escaped and leave Bola Ahmed Tinubu vulnerable for US Trump, to do the needful at the end of the day, and that is what it is.